WSB.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are live with Inside Georgia Real Estate with Deborah Morton. The number to call is 404-872-0750, 1-800-WSB-TALK. Those are the numbers, to call if you have any questions for Deborah or our special guest in studio, Scott Chatham of Chatham Landscape Services. So, Scott, before we went to break, we were talking about the process and pervious and impervious surfaces and getting permits.
The main thing is, how do you create a resort-like feel in your home for yourself? Sell in the future, fine, it'll have value, but we want people to create spaces they love in their current home, and hiring the right professional who can step you through the process is
But what
really
is that
important.
process?
Yeah.
Hiring the right professional is very, very important. If I'm out trying to hire somebody to help me in my residential home, I would look at a landscape company that has landscape architects or landscape designers.
Because you went to school for this.
Yes, exactly. University of Georgia.
Okay.
Go Dogs.
Go Dogs.
I would hire somebody that's got a very, very strong residential portfolio, because there is a difference between residential design and commercial design. So I would stress the residential, and that person will be able to really help you develop a plan that should increase the value of your home.
Versus let's say when I'm helping somebody prepare their home for sale, we're talking about different type of landscape improvement, because then I'm talking about mulch, curb appeal, and just making it look nice. What we're talking about with Scott is a more enhanced, sometimes surveys are needed, pull permits with the correct municipality, have a design on paper, and then you control your costs that way because you know what your budget is going into it. And that's where a lot of people, like right now, the reason this came up is because I am talking to people who aren't ready to make a move, and I'm like, well, do you enjoy your house as it is? Let me help you find the resources you need to make your current home work for you. If you're going to be in it for another 2 to 5 years, why not enjoy your home fully? And it's summertime. It's Memorial Weekend. Everybody's barbecue. And don't you want to invite everybody to your home and have the party in your own yard?
Yeah. So Shelley, you were asking the question about the process. So the process is basically hiring a professional to come out there, or interviewing a professional to come out there and come to your home and meet with you. And they should ask you a lot of questions, like some of the questions are, how long do you plan to live in this home? How many children do you have? How do you plan to use the space? Do you entertain a lot? Those are all the questions that you really should be able to prepare to answer, or a professional should ask you. Then the professional should be able to say, okay, here's the things you needed to get this process going. Once we come up with a design, you're going to need, first thing most likely, is you're going to need an up-to-date survey.
Right.
Now, what's a survey?
A survey is where you hire a survey company to come out there and they put on a piece of paper everything that's existing, show you where your property lines are, show you where any easements are, show you the house, the driveway. And a good survey company will even locate the trees, that basically with the size of the trees. They'll also tell you the impervious surface.
I'll tell you, why this is important is easements exist everywhere.
Right.
So Scott had a deal that was in North Buckhead or Sandy Springs,
where
the Brookhaven, there was an easement through the land, and the homeowner
What's an
had
easement for those listening?
An easement is, let's say you have a county sewer line going through your property.
Gas line, power line, something buried under the ground.
Something county or city sewer line going through your property. On either side of that sewer line, whether it's 10 feet or 20 feet, the city is allowed to come in at any time and repair it if it's broken.
Right.
So if you're building, it really matters. And when you're selling, it really matters.
Right.
So we were talking about a job or a project we were looking at not too long ago in Brookhaven, a very, very expensive home that the homeowner that was selling the house put the pool equipment right on top of the sewer easement. No big deal until that sewer line would break, and then the new owner would be responsible for replacing that.
Right.
If it's just landscaping, the city will come back and replace
Gotcha.
whatever they damaged.
So these are all the nuances where you want to make sure your team of experts actually knows what they're doing, because the cost of not hiring the right person, hiring the wrong person is so costly.
Right. So you shouldn't get your brother-in-law to build out your design and landscape.
If he went to the University of
Right,
Georgia,
that's what
has a
I'm saying.
landscape
Right.
architect.
Right.
So, and the reason I'm saying that, because it's the same thing we talk every week about hiring a skilled realtor. Reading contracts and being knowledgeable about what you're doing matters so much, and you don't know until something bad happens, and it's only years of experience and training that is going to prevent this from happening. And none of us have a crystal ball. The person we were just referring to wasn't even aware there was an easement there, and then they go to sell their property, and lo and behold, it all pops up. So how you navigate through these things requires the expertise. You know, you're living, you have a job, you have a family, you're like, you just want to move, or you just want to put in a patio. Making all of that come together in a smooth process that is clear and clear about the cost, the timeline, and what to expect. And then you just want you don't want somebody who's going to leave you stuck with a mess at the end of the project.
Right.
That's the difference of hiring it. We had a very interesting real estate related. I had an attorney. Thanks, Cheryl, for sharing that interesting story this week, where this was not my company. Buyer's agent had a client under contract. During the due diligence, the client wanted to terminate the contract based on the results of the inspection. The agent sent the wrong termination form. She terminated the brokerage engagement instead of the purchase and sale agreement, simply by using the wrong contract. The agent made a mistake. The buyer didn't know the difference, or didn't read the contract, didn't know that they're terminating the relationship with their agent. That buyer was still under obligation to purchase that home.
Right.
Due diligence period ends, earnest money is lost, simply because the agent used the wrong contract. And that's inexcusable. It is absolutely preventable by hiring the right people. So whether you're building your outdoor landscaping area,
Right.
hiring an agent, I'm talking about electricians, plumbers, roofers, all of the things. The partners that we have here at WSB are so strong in their skills and their relationships. It's that trusted, vetted professional that you need to hire. Just be very careful. It's always buyer beware in Georgia. Sorry, that was my little rant.
404-872-0750, 1-800-WSB-TALK. Those are the numbers to call. Scott, as we talk about design and landscaping, you talked about a patio, making it accessible. What about things on the house? Does that include things on the house that you can put onto the house or attach to the house?
I mean, we occasionally attach like covered screened-in porches. I mean, even the pergolas that are not weatherproof but allows you shade. Those are all things that we see a lot of requests. Now, when we're asked to do those, you got to really take in a lot of things in consideration. Again, the permitting process.
Right.
But not only that is how much sunlight will it cut down on the inside of the house. You know, those.
That's right. If you put something at right.
Exactly.
Right.
So those are all items that, again, a professional should steer you around and ask those questions to you, and then how do you flow out to those usable spaces. The easier it is to flow out from your house to the space.
Explain that, flow out, because
Okay, that's it. Yeah, I probably should.
When you're standing in the living room and you're looking out the back door or the back window, it has to flow. I was standing at a beautiful home in Marietta yesterday. We're standing in the living room, looking out the sliding glass door over the porch out to the backyard, and there's a gorgeous, spectacular view. That is living out.
Gotcha.
How are you going to live and use that space, and how is it going to flow from inside the house to outside the house?
Yeah, and we basically have the principle that most people are lazy. I'm sorry, but they are. And if you you want a fire pit, and you say, I want a fire pit or a fireplace or even a swimming pool, but the only place I can put it is 20 feet down or a 20-foot elevation change. The chances of you going down there after it's built yeah, it'll look beautiful, but the chances of you using
Right.
it,
Yeah, people don't
are-
want to take stairs to get down
So
to the.
that's
right.
funny you should say that, because I have a friend who has a huge backyard, but it's a little elevated. The house is elevated. You have to go down a hill. But he has everything set up so far away from the house that when you go to his house, and if we want to go outside in the backyard, it's a hike
Yeah.
to go out there, and it's cool. Until you're down there for a while, sitting down, having a couple beers, hanging out, you've got to walk back now, and it's a hike for a house. You
Yeah.
know?
that is what we talk about flow.
Flow. There you go. That summed up the flow.
That is pedestrian circulation all the way around. We want to, so that you can walk out and be able to flow out, and you can use it. The closer it is and the easier to get to, the more you'll use it, and the more functional it is, and the increases value.
And the reason why we're talking about this, ladies and gentlemen, just to reset for you, is we're talking about people who are not, they may have had their homes paid off.
Yes.
Or they may not be ready to sell. Is making your home.
Yeah, you have all this equity you're sitting on. And we could talk about redoing kitchens, bathrooms, all kinds of accessibility things to make a home better suited for somebody who doesn't want to move. Today, it's Memorial Weekend. I wanted to talk about outdoor living because staycations are great. Why
Right.
not stay at home and enjoy your yard? We have, aside from the rain this weekend, it's a beautiful time.
And let me say something for someone that's going to be at the Jazz Festival tomorrow. It's only raining for a few minutes.
That's right.
It's not a rainy weekend.
That is exactly right. It is a perfect time to grill out,
Absolutely.
hang out in your backyard, enjoy the outdoor scape so you can build it as nice as you'd like to, and you're sitting on equity in your current home. So if you have questions about home equity, contact InsideGeorgiaRealEstate.com. I will connect you to some competitive lenders who will talk with you about home equity lines of credit. You don't have to recast your mortgage or have a 6.5% mortgage to do this. This is a simple way to tap into money that already belongs to you.
Go to InsideGeorgiaRealEstate.com to get in touch with Deborah. When we come back, we're going to just couple minutes we'll have. I want you guys to put out all the information.
Yes.
We will be right back. Inside Georgia Real Estate with Deborah Morton of the Agency Atlanta.